So, so you're telling me, Travis, that if we did trivia, sports trivia nine, you would beat me 9 out of 10 times. I only beat you that one time.
9 out of 10 times.
9 out of 10, but I've won the
9 out of
one,
10.
right? The
You
one.
won the one.
I won the one, but if we did
Nine
it
out of
10
ten.
times, 10 times.
Yeah, because Hugh Freeze said so.
Yeah, that's what we're
Hey
going with.
man, it's my favorite time of the week. Time for the
It is
podcast.
time for the podcast. It's always a good time when you've got the Hawg Slop podcast. I'm still getting used to the new name with Big
Hog
C and
slopping.
Bigger T. We ask you to stop what you're doing right now. Just stop it.
Stop.
And like,
Stop right
share,
now.
and like it, share it, and then subscribe.
Yeah.
Give us a 5-star review. Give us a 5-star review. Travis will give you $5.
Next
And
time I see you.
I did not confirm that with Travis. So
And I didn't confirm it with Travis either.
okay.
I'll yeah, sure. Just next time you see me, say, hey, Travis, I like, shared, subscribed.
And you have to see him in person.
I'll give you a tic tac or something.
Yeah,
Maybe.
He'll give you something.
Well, hey man, we're 3-1.
3-1. Who would have thunk it? You.
But we're gonna talk about that because I got a little confused on should I be sad or should I be glad?
I don't know. Whoa.
Is it a sad 3-1 or is it a glad 3-1?
Yeah.
I get, as a Razorback fan, I get confused about that a lot.
Very
So
easy.
folks, like, share, subscribe, listen to a little Sean Michelle, and let's get ready to start the show.
Booyaka.
Booyaka.
1, 2, 3, 4. You've ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you will change his name. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you will change his name.
What's up, everybody? I just got through with my daily affirmation, so I'm ready for the Hawg Slop podcast. Clint, how you doing? I'm your boy Travis Johnson, Bigger T, joined as always by my man Big C, Clint Clark. How you doing, brother?
Dude, did you take crack before the podcast? Because that is the most hype introduction you have ever done. This is what? Are we pushing 170? Like 169?
I think this is 170. I think
this is 170. I don't somehow I always pull the number out of the crack in my backside.
Crack of it.
And I get it. I don't know how, but I get it right.
Yeah, look at
I
you.
get it right. So but yeah, 170, and that is the most energetic introduction.
Yeah, man, because I mean, you know what?
Easy.
I'm taking my vitamins, brother. I'm saying my prayers. I'm taking my vitamins. I'm a Hawg Slop maniac.
Ah. Hey, and the Browns won and Baker Mayfield lost. So I can't even troll you. I can't even troll you for that. Oh, the Browns lost. Sorry, I didn't mean to rub it in. Baker Mayfield also lost
to the Giants.
Oh man, they're real good. They won have they won a game yet?
Hush, 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 hush.
Hush. Okay, I'll quit being mean to you, Travis. But
thanks.
No, but it's a good
always
week
got the
to be
Yankees.
a Hog fan. Good week to be a Hog fan. But holy shit.
But you know what? Well, hold up. Before the host Nikes.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. No
disrespect. Before we got on, I was checking out the latest episode of The Voice started last night. And you know me, I'm interested. I'm an American Idol guy. However, Snoop Dogg is one of the judges.
Okay, yeah. See, I'm low key. I'm interested. So I'm interested to hear your feelings.
He's just Mr. Entertainment. Okay, like
yeah.
The only thing about the Olympics I paid attention to, really, besides a little bit of the breakdance lady thing, was the Snoop Dogg stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm about halfway through the first episode, Clint. I'm here for it, man.
You're here, okay?
I mean, dude, it's worth it just to listen to Snoop and the funny stuff he says.
Yeah.
Him and Reba McEntire. What is it with Snoop and old white ladies working together?
Hey.
It's great. It's magic. It's TV magic.
No,
Snoop is the guy
I'm gonna check it out as soon as I've got the Peacock. I've got Peacock Premium, Travis.
Yeah.
I don't do commercials.
No commercials.
I
See,
don't.
I'm not premium, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's worth it just for Snoop Dogg's entertainment value.
No,
he's given Clint for the people that get on his team. He's given like blinged out death row necklaces. And he pulled the ultimate card on one of the first ones. I'm not going to spoil it, but he's trying to get this person on his team.
No, you go ahead.
He's like, look, I can help you as your coach. He said, I can help you with, with the business side of things. He said, plus in 1992, I was signed by Death Row Records and now I own Death Row Records. And so if you want a career in this, got up on my team. That's the ultimate. Like, who can fight that? Gwen Stefani can't beat that. Michael Bublé's over there like, I can't. I just sing Frank Sinatra songs. I don't know.
Dude, that is an interesting group, a diverse group
it is
of like look, I love The Voice, and I haven't watched it in many seasons, not since Blake and Adam left.
Yeah.
But you like what a random assortment of entertainers. You got Michael Bublé, and I love me some Michael Bublé. I'll play some "Feeling Good" by Bublé. Yeah. Then Gwen Stefani. I mean, I'm Just a Girl.
Yeah, of course.
It's bananas.
It's bananas, Clint.
And I cannot I end up putting too many A's and too many N's in there. B-A-N. I can't spell banana, y'all.
Who knows?
So, and then Reba's the queen of country. I mean, Reba's, oh my God. I mean, it's probably
and then to see like Snoop and Reba and Michael Bublé and they literally like really respect each other, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's really just a fun watch. So anyway, folks, sorry about that.
Being a country artist is just the only guy that turns for you, Snoop.
No,
I just want to
when you watch it, anyway, it's
I watch. I'm definitely
worth watching just for the Snoop factor. Even if you don't like the show, just for the Snoop factor.
Yeah.
And Carson Daly's just over there standing with the family. Oh, Jeff Blake. You remember him, the football player, the quarterback?
Yeah.
Cincinnati or whatever. His daughter was on it.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry about that, folks. If you're not interested in that, sorry.
Then we don't care. Listen to
it. But we grew up. Listen, back in the 90s, I was bumping little Snoop and Dr. Dre in my 78 Ford pickup with two 8-inch subwoofers. I couldn't afford an amp, but I had the bass booster from Walmart that you plugged in the front off the dash. Hey man, it was sweet. Hey, not really.
That's redneck fabulous right there.
It was redneck fabulous. Well, hey, but you got a awesome holy Nikes.
Holy freaking James Madison. I think the Dukes. I'm not even sure their name.
Whatever. They're named after a founding father.
Yeah, I mean, he wrote he wrote the Constitution. Or
something important like that. I don't know.
Listen, Connie Simpson, I don't know history because you failed at your job. Anyway, I mean, just like, hey, I failed your class and you failed at your job. How about that?
There you go.
Am I going to get sued for libel?
More likely.
Like probably.
That's
all right. Well, I've been waiting to get canceled. I've been trying for 170 episodes. I finally did it.
Yeah.
Where was I? James Madison, the Dukes, I believe, beat Jacoby Criswell and the North Carolina Tar Heels, which that in itself is not crazy. But when I tell you North Carolina scored 50 points. 50!
And they lost?
50. And they lost. And it was not close. 70. A Sunbelt school put on a Power 4 now ACC school.
Wow.
Coached by a Hall of Famer, Mac Brown.
Yeah.
Put a 70 spot on them. The same amount that Arkansas scored
on UAPB.
They put up 70 points. Like it was so bad, apparently in the back in the locker room, like Mac's like, I'm retired. Like, look, I can't.
Yeah, he's like, you can have my job.
I don't want to do this.
That's like, crazy, man. Wild stuff.
And I think Mac's going to finish out the season, but I'm not. based that off something I think I heard.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% on
That's
any,
crazy.
but I do know he did he did say he's retiring after the game. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it was effective immediately or, the end of the season, but 70 points.
Yeah.
70.
That's nuts, dude.
And you know what?
That's
If
crazy.
Auburn played us 9 more times, they could score 70 in like at least 3 of those games.
Well, if you're not getting what Clint's referring to, most of you, I'm sure, have heard about it. It's been all over Arkansas news and Twitter and social media and radio and everything else.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Hugh Freeze, which is a guy, Clint, look, I like a redemption story. I do.
No, he paid. You know what? He took he got fired. He worked his way back up.
He made some mistakes on and off the field. He worked through those. He confessed to them. He went to Liberty and paid his dues at a smaller school there.
Yeah.
Come to Arkansas and beat us. But anyway, goes to Auburn. I'm thinking, okay, the guy's a good coach, it seems like. He's the coach. Yeah. He's Michael Orr's high school coach.
Right.
He's the guy from The Blind Side. Okay.
He's not named Bert.
He's not named Bert. Yeah. But he's, and I'm thinking, okay, I kind of like this guy.
I'm going to call him Bert the rest of this episode.
But then Bert comes in last year and unmercifully whips us, right?
Yeah.
And seemed to pour it on and enjoyed it. So that already got me thinking, I don't know about this dude.
Yeah, and he pretty much said we could have scored every time we had the football.
Yeah.
They probably
Well, then in the post-game press conference after the Auburn game, after we played this week, some people say, everybody's saying really, he threw his players under the bus, and he really did. Now, he didn't say anything that was wrong. I mean, it was inaccurate. Okay, it was wrong to say it that way, I think. But that's not where you say it.
No, you don't. And you don't want to say it. And that's the difference between, a lot of people love to hate on Sam Pittman. They just do because it's the popular thing. He's had a couple rough years. It's going to happen. And I think Pittman gets that.
Yeah.
Pittman took a bold move and, done things that most coaches wouldn't do. Most coaches wouldn't. They'd be insecure about bringing in a beloved former head coach as offensive coordinator, but he did it because it's what's best because he felt is what's best for the team.
Yeah.
And then kudos to him. But in all the times, like we had Andrew Chambly on this podcast. So, hey, there was bad communication, just something didn't get signaled in right. Pittman never threw the players under the bus.
No.
He never threw assistants.
And that's why, like, for last year, we speculate a lot of things on the players because Pittman hasn't, and none of the coaches have come out and said. Now, he said a few things that you're like, you can read between the lines, but he hasn't made it where it was specifically about somebody necessarily.
No, and he hasn't. And it's just, but to just go out there and basically say, just to throw your quarterbacks under the bus.
Quarterbacks, receivers, blocking. And the thing is, like I said, what he said wasn't inaccurate, but there's a place a coach is supposed to do that. You do that in a closed team meeting at the worst. If you do it in front of the team, I don't think Sam Pittman would do it in front of the whole team. I think in your position meetings, you would do that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're watching film, in fact, if you don't, you're a bad coach, right? You're pointing out all those mistakes, right?
Mullins got up and stormed out of the room on us one time. And I was like, okay, I can't. He just like, he got this close to having a stroke. I'm pretty sure it just stormed out the room. Like I'm just kidding.
And the thing is, as well, he probably should. And coaches should get like that. But you don't do that in front of in regional media. You just don't do it. And then, of course,
and he was taking a beating for that. He really was. He was taking
one of your, former Ole Miss quarterbacks, Bo Wallace, comes out and says, "Yeah, that's who he is, and I wouldn't let my son play for him. He never did anything for me." Whoa,
Yeah.
Then he gets on his radio show, And he says a very not bright thing. He says if he played Arkansas 10 times, that they would win the next 9 or something like that. And that how he said it? Something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much. Which I don't know if, I know you're not on Twitter, Clint, but maybe you saw it on Instagram. Razorback players have been putting out, retweeting that and reposting that, his quote, like crazy. And then Arkansas football media at 9:00 this morning posted a picture of Jaden Johnson's interception and said 9 out of 9 times that's still an interception.
Yeah, no, it was it was good, and you deserve to be roasted when you say something like that. It's just not. Listen, I'm sure if you ask Sam Pittman how many times out of 10 they would beat Oklahoma State, he would say we'd beat them the next 9 times.
Yeah, but not.
He probably would. He would dance around that like a politician, but is what he would do.
Not with media present, he wouldn't say that.
No, he wouldn't say that. But he told to the boys, like, yeah, he would never say that. He would never say that. He would never let that get out. There's nothing about what Hugh Freeze has been doing in the media that's going to help with recruiting. There's just zero. Because what he's going to have to hope to do is to try to just buy the best quarterback in the portals. Is what he's going to have to hope to, and he's going to have to buy him because he's
he knew he needed to do that this year, and he didn't do it.
Yeah,
he said, "I'm going to stand pat with what we got." He didn't go out and get anybody else, and that's one of the things the fans. Like I'll listen to his post game press conference, or watch it on YouTube.
I watched a little bit. I didn't.
And so, because of that, YouTube started putting some videos of like Auburn podcasters giving their reaction to the game, and I watched a couple of those just to see what they would say. Auburn fans they're ready. See you.
See, but
and it doesn't get easier for him. Because he's got Oklahoma next. He's got in 2 weeks after that, he's got going to Georgia. It's not good for Hugh Freeze at all on the plains.
It's going to be rocky road, and Auburn fans are the most irrational bunch. They really are. They ran poor Gus out of town, and Gus. And they ain't been the same since.
Yeah.
Heck, Gene Chiswick won a national championship, was fired 2 years later.
Yeah, and they were wanting to push Tommy Tuberville, so yeah. All right. So anyway, let's talk about the game, Clint. What are some of the of course the positive is we won.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go with my offensive player of the game, and then I'm gonna ramble on about it. My offense player of the game. I thought about Santanga. I thought about Taylon Green's legs again. And by the way, I was watching a few highlights, and Taylon's ability to read the read option is fantastic.
Yeah,
you see him reading the D end. He's reading it, and he's pulling it last second. It is really, really. But I'm going to give it to the offensive line. And, they had a rough start to the second half. But A&M, Auburn just scored to pull within 3. So it's 14-17. We get the ball back, 9:47 left in the game.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the car, and I said, and driving, just listening to the game, trying to speed as fast as I can so I could watch it on TV, but listening to Chuck Barrett, and I thought to myself, this is one of them where we need a good 6-minute drive.
Yeah.
We need 6 minutes, just put it on the line, get nasty.
Yeah.
And, of course, Petrino comes out throwing the ball. But we were about to have to punt, and then we get a pass interference call, and then the offensive line took over.
Yeah.
They really did, and they needed it. And I looked it up earlier. So Arkansas got the ball back at 9:57. I mean 9:47 in the game is when they got the ball, or 9:47. Auburn got the ball back at, well, I messed up, but it was in the 3 minutes, around 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So they did. Not only did they take care of business and get the touchdown, but they did it in the way they needed to do it.
Yeah.
And that was an offensive line drive. And we're still having some slip ups, but here's the thing: they're not getting beat one-on-one. They're not. They're winning their one-on-one matchups in pass pro.
There was a few slip ups, but yeah, Blackstock struggled a little bit.
Yeah,
he got twisted up a couple times, and
yeah,
on some what they're doing to him is they're doubling up,
yeah,
over out there, and it's confusing him, and he's not getting deep enough on his sets, and they're getting by him. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the offensive line did much better, and some of the mistakes we saw the week before were fixed, I think.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's a good one. My offensive player of the game is I got to do it. I got to give roses. I got to give credit where credit's due. A guy that, we talked on here that, I know he's good. I know while we brought him in, and I still, was kind of questioning the move. Bobby freaking Petrino.
Yep.
I think, because here's the deal, Clint. I think it was a well-called game. I think mistakes by players, notably our quarterback, but also some of the other players, caused most of the problems we saw with some play calling. If you would have critiqued some play calling, then you'd see that it was probably players messing up on the play.
Yeah.
I thought he, especially, and for the same reason you said, the offensive line, that 9 minute, when we got the ball at 9 minutes, that drive was at 12 plays.
Yeah, those are ridiculous.
That was when Bobby Petrino came to Arkansas the first time. He was talking about his offense, and he said, look, my goal is in the second half to have people wore down and to wear them down, to finish them off by running with power. And that's why, that's what we did with Nile Davis. That's what we did with, Ronnie Wingo, guys like that. And that's what he did, man. And that's exactly what he did. And they smartly gave other, Russell had like 9 carries. They got other running backs. Hill had some carries early in the game so that Jaquindon Jackson would be fresher at the end of the game.
Yeah. And man, Russell had a big carry on that drive. Had like a 13-yard run.
Yep. I mean, just think about it. If they would have done that against Oklahoma State, then you might have Jaquindon Jackson running the ball instead of Rodney Hill on that last play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so to me, and Pittman acknowledged that after that game and said, look, we got to get those guys in sooner so that we can keep guys fresher. And that's what they did. And that to me, that's a great, just coaching wise, whether it's Pittman or Petrino and both working together or whoever made that call. But anyway, Petrino's mine. Look, Taylon Green threw for like 44% in that game. And at first, Clint, I want to say, and he had some of the same mistakes he had against UAB. Not as bad as he had against UAB. He missed open receivers. He stares down receivers, so defenses can just watch his eyes, and they know where he's going. They can leave their receivers and just follow his eyes. Okay. Mm. Now, and he's made, hung Armstrong out to dry one time. He hung, someone else out kind of on a play there. But the thing is, Clint, I want to complain about that, but then I'm thinking, That's really what I expected out of him before the season.
And what he's bringing with his legs and in the three
Exactly.
option game, dude. But here's the thing, and just no one else is talking about this, and so I'm gonna bring it up. Malachi Singleton comes in for a series. And I was listening to Barrett. Barrett had no idea that he was having cramps. They're like, they pulled Taylon Green. And they go, both quarterbacks, I mean, both teams are going. And then so, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, they pulled Taylon. Now, obviously, we found out later that Taylon was having cramps. And so
I don't think he was having cramps.
What, you think it was
I think on TV, they just showed him standing on the sideline.
Yeah.
They wasn't working on him, I don't think. I think that's right.
Well, I'm just saying.
So
I mean, I'm listening, but I'm listening to Pittman. But either way,
do
you think if Taylor, if Singleton led a touchdown drive, that he comes out the game?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? And and to Pittman and to Petrino's credit, he ran the offense. He let him throw the ball.
Yeah.
But
he didn't. He didn't look as good as he did against UAPB, of course.
Well, I mean,
but
come on.
Yeah, he's going to. Yeah.
I mean,
but no, that was an interesting thing that happened there. And, and I think if nothing else, it was probably a smart coaching move because it let Taylon get over there and kind of get his head together a little bit.
Yeah.
But like I said, here's the deal with Taylon. He's not going to complete a lot of percentage. He's going to be around a 50%. That's what he was at Boise State. He was a 50% passer. Yes, Bobby Petrino's going to help him, and hopefully he gets up higher than that. If he can get to 60% in some games, man, we'll win those games easy.
Yeah.
But he's going to make up for about 50, not getting that 60% or 65 or 70, like, Jefferson did sometimes and some others. He's going to make up for that with what he can do with his legs. Because he's going to get you out of and get some tough plays, some third downs. Look, we're one of the best, third and fourth down teams in the nation right now. We're doing good with that. And that's nice to see.
Yeah, because we have Arkansas's got a 3rd and 4, somewhere in there, like a 3rd and 4 or something along those lines. And they line up in whatever formation you are. You don't know what to defend. They could throw it. They could legit hold it, read option. He could keep it.
Yeah,
it makes it, and that's why winning on first down is so important. And no, I was happy. Now let's talk about the highlight of the game, my man. That defensive performance turned in by T. Will.
Yeah.
Was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Who's your defensive player of the game for the defense?
Dude, it is both secondary coaches. It is both of them. I know Coach Woodson.
Yeah.
And there's another one back there that helps him.
Yeah.
But man, the secondary, because Slaughter, I thought played a terrific game. TJ Metcalf, I mean, you almost want to just chorus that one.
And that's the thing.
It's like
I'm going with him as mine, but it's the obvious pick because
we try to go.
But I'm going with the obvious pick because he had such an awesome game.
Dude, it was such a good game. They didn't even do a co-defensive player of the week.
That's right.
And I remember Biddy's walk and talk. He echoes my sentiments about how we always seem to get co. They never give it to the Razorback. It's always like co-defensive player of the week, co-offensive player of the week. So he actually and another one that I wanted to point out, and we don't ever do special teams, and I noticed this a lot. Number 30, the deep snapper.
Yeah.
Because he beat out like the guy that was the number 1 snapper in the country, and I can see why.
A scholarship snapper at that.
A scholarship snapper. He was. I mean, he was down there. He was the first one down on the coverage every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time he was the first one down there.
Yeah. You gotta love a snapper that'll do that. And a snapper can do that because they keep the defender off of them. They try to protect the snapper so they don't get hurt, and so they don't have anybody standing over them, so they should be able to get down there a little easier than some of the other guys because they don't have somebody jamming them up. but a lot of times they don't because they're so worried about the snap that they're, but man, you gotta love it, man. I mean, he hustled, he's down there, and he was fired up, and the rest of the team seemed to be fired up.
Yeah,
seeing him doing it, you saw them jumping up and down with him. So,
I got to tell this story, and because it's a funny story. We played UCA in football when I was at Arkansas Tech. Now UCA is like a good Division I AA school, FCS school, and Tech still in the Division II, so they don't play anymore, which is sad. It's good because UCA would kill us, but it's also sad because the rivalry's gone. But I was on the team that broke the streak because UCA had a long streak against us, and we had a snapper on punts named Ben Moreland, and he would do that where he'd just fly down the field. And so we were punting to UCA, and the guy hadn't even caught the ball yet, and Ben just clobbered him. I mean, just it's dirty. I don't think he was doing it dirty, but he was, he just knocked it. It was brutal hit. And so we're watching the film, and they had a bone. They'd call it like the bone hit of the week for whoever they had the week of the week. And Ben goes, "Did I get the bone hit of the week?" Just during the meeting, and everybody just laughed. But you had to have been there, but it was great. I'm sorry.
Well, so look, here's the deal, Clint. This team is 3-1.
Yep.
And part of me is thinking at first, after the game the other day, I was like, man, we won, but it was ugly. And, Talon didn't look that great. But I'm critiquing Talon. I love the guy, man. I don't know if you saw the video of him after the game going over to all the Razorback fans and calling the Hogs with them, like the two different sections.
Yeah.
I love the kid. I'm so glad he's our quarterback. So I'm not trying to dog him as a person at all. I just want him. I'd like to see him play a little better.
Yeah. But I think he is the unquestioned leader of that team.
Yeah.
I think it's his team. I think you got other leaders. Like I think you got Landon Jackson. He's a leader on that team. You got Carmona there. I mean, you've got dudes there.
But anyway, I was thinking, I was like, man, I wish, I was, thinking of all the negatives. We didn't spread the ball around that much. Broden's didn't catch a pass, and even though they went to him a few times, I had all these critiques, right? But then I started thinking, Travis, you're being a typical Razorback fan. What did you expect? And I thought back once again to our, prediction show. They're exactly where I thought they would be. So what am I being stupid for? And in fact, in this game, there's me and the baseball coach for Camden Fairview. Like every Friday, we do he asks, what's the score going to be? And so I give my score, he gives his. Now, I didn't get the score exactly right, but I did say we would win by 10. That's what I expected. I expected us to win by 10. In fact, all the games I have played out, besides I thought we'd do better against UAB. Other than that, I've kind of said this is how the game's going to go in all the games. And we did better than I thought we would do against UAPB. What am I getting upset for, Clint?
Well,
this was a 4-win team last year.
Because you're a fan.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I remember I was watching the Oklahoma State game. And I said, there's nothing else that gives me this feeling.
Yeah.
And just if we lose, I'm okay. My day's not ruined. I don't enjoy getting on the YouTube and watching all the press conference stuff like I do. Because I love Sam Pittman. I don't like seeing him beat down. But I also think, fans need to remember where we were.
Yeah.
Because I was telling you on Marco Polo today, I'm like, every now and then, I'll go look at, look for information, do a little show prep. And I'll come across I came across the Walk and Talk by Trey Biddy after we got beat by Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
In Chad Morris's press conference, afterwards where you're and he'd always put it all on the players and stuff like that. And you got a coach Pittman who loves his kid and is a leader. And I think Petrino likes working for him.
Yeah.
I think T. Will likes working for him. I think people like working for him. People like playing for him.
Yeah.
It's just, sometimes it just don't go right. And I think, we've got another big one coming up because you're only as good as your last game. I mean, that's the thing. You just went to Auburn. Now you get to go to Dallas, get the very last of this series in Dallas, it sounds like.
Yep.
So I think it'll be at Fayetteville next year.
Yeah, I think so.
And so now you've got A&M, a team that's also 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at kind of the way their season's gone, it's gone kind of similar to Arkansas.
They lost to Notre Dame.
Lost to Notre Dame, your tough non-conference opponent. Then
beat Bowling Green.
They drilled. I think McNeese State.
Yeah.
And then this last game, Bowling Green. So they come in 3-1.
Yeah.
I think they won an SEC game, but I
think Florida.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So and they beat Florida about like they should have, because Florida is just, they're not very good. So I think them and Arkansas have similar. They have a similar teams. I really do. I think it's just going to come. I think this one's going to come down to the team that's got the best game plan.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes the fewest mistakes, which is just you could put that on there's some teams that they're going to have to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Like they're going to have to not make one more mistake than you. They're going to have to make like 10 more mistakes than you.
Yeah.
For you to win. And you're going to play your best.
Yeah.
This is one game. I think if the team that makes the less mistakes is going to win, and if they make the equal numbers of mistakes, it's going to come down to the game plan. Yeah. Can T. Will dial it up against A&M and get that? And can Petrino, can he call the game?
One of the things where it's going to be interesting to watch is they have an athletic quarterback. So our front seven trying to contain him along with their running game, containing them, because they always have a pretty decent running game. I'm not nervous about their receivers. I don't think, from what I've heard about them, I think they got some big athletic receivers, but I think we got the kind of D-backs that are big and athletic. I mean, the guys I worry about again going against our D-backs are the smaller, quicker types. That's the kind of guys that I think would hurt us more. And so I feel, I may eat those words. However, Clint, I predicted at the beginning of the year we would lose this game.
What did I predict?
You predicted. Let me see. I think you predicted a win.
Did I?
No, wait, hold on. You know what?
What's that?
I predicted a win too. I thought I predicted A&M.
Well, see, here's the thing. You've been right every time, so I'm going to go and pick us to win this game now.
Never mind. Both of us picked wins on this one.
I think we want this one. Last one at Jerry World. And here's the thing. I think, Petrino knows their defensive personnel should.
Yeah.
So he'll know how to game plan on them. And I think Eco's obviously a great how do I say that? But I think he's obviously a great coach, great defensive mind.
Yeah.
He did amazing at Duke.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. It's always a physical game. You always I don't know who we play next week after A&M. Tennessee. That's probably going to be a loss because we are going to be beat up from this game. This is always a physical game. Usually, it's going to be physical. I mean, it's going to be big boy football. I mean, this is a.
And Pittman did say he's hoping that Clark and
Braxton
will be back, which that would be great if they are. Just to
I don't think Cooter is going to be back.
No.
I really
and what do you think about Rashad Dominion indefinitely suspended?
I mean, he really wasn't playing anyway, but
Yeah, but I think that's a guy that I think if whatever's going on, he had some injuries, and then
yeah,
whatever's going on must have something been going on because I think he's a guy that could have helped us down the road.
yeah. Well,
If he was healthy and everything, and out of the doghouse or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's almost one of them. I think at this point, the best thing for Dominion and Kudus both would be to redshirt this season.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. I'm not just saying that. I mean,
I have a feeling if it's disciplinary action on Dominion, then he's probably a goner.
well, yeah. I
I mean, he'll
mean,
transfer out.
yeah. But I mean, at that point, I mean, at this point, why even play the rest of the season?
Yeah.
Just opt out, save your red shirt, and have 2 more years at
Yeah.
another school. And dude, you know what I thought about the other day? You know what's coming to an end? COVID years.
Oh yeah.
Like I think there's one more year left of COVID years.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. Well, they talked about the Oklahoma State quarterback, was one of the last ones, I think, because he's had 7 years total.
yeah, KJ was so it'd be the next year.
Yeah.
Would be the next one because KJ was a redshirt freshman. We brought in Felipe, and that was the COVID year.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So anyway, so going down to Arlington, I'm hoping Pittman gets them fired up. It being the nice a trophy game as usual and all that kind of stuff. Last one in Arlington. I did listen to the Texas A&M's coach. Seems like a class guy. Listen to his press conference. It was really neat because he was really talking good about Pittman. He talked good about our players, knew our players by name, had recruited some of them, things like that, and knew a lot about them. But he said he told his players, he said, "Look, this is a great opportunity. If you're a Cowboys fan, you get to go play where the Cowboys play." And he said, "If you're not a Cowboys fan," he said, "then you get to go play against Jerry's team in Jerry's world." I
mean, yeah, I mean,
good. So yeah, I thought that was pretty good. He played off that, Jerry being alumni and all that. So but I think it's going to be a good game. And that's the good thing about this team, Clint. I think we can go into every game thinking it's going to be a pretty good game, hopefully. If nothing else, it'll be good fun to watch. Be close.
Yeah, I think this is a fun football team. It really is. This is a fun football team. I don't know how the season's going to end up. I mean, I think we're looking at a bottom of of a floor of 5-7 now. I think that's the floor. I wholeheartedly believe that. I think the floor is 5-7. I think you'd asked before the season, the floor would have been 3-9. So I think the floor has been raised 2 wins. So let's see if they can keep raising that floor.
Yeah.
I think that's the mission at this point. It wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. This team, it wouldn't shock me if they go 5-7, and it wouldn't shock me if they make the playoffs because that would shock me a little bit. But
yeah, that would shock me
more. Yeah, it shock me. But
yeah.
So,
but hey, if nothing else, look, I think I feel better about getting
Gator
a bowl
Bowl's
game.
lit.
I feel better about getting a bowl game.
Yeah.
Whether it's Independence Bowl or wherever it is, Liberty, I don't care.
Liberty.
Duke Mayonnaise Bowl.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Bobby Petrino with some mayonnaise poured all over him.
Yeah.
After the game.
Get weird.
It gets weird. That gets real weird. That gets real weird. Well, folks, I'll tell you what's not getting weird. And that is going and liking and sharing this podcast.
And subscribing
to the YouTube channel. Subscribing on Apple Podcasts so you get notified all the time. Spotify, wherever you're at. Give us some reviews, comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about our critiques. I know we just kind of give general critiques, but what do you think about our critiques? What do you think about the things we say? What do you think about our players of the game? Who are we leaving out? I know we always leave people out. I always get told by some people, hey, well, I can't believe you didn't say so-and-so's player.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But TJ Metcalf just had one of them games. Like, I tried to give Coach Woodson thing, but yeah, it's TJ Metcalf.
I mean, come on. Yeah.
Dude, I mean that because he pretty much Slaughter's interception, he batted it to him.
Yeah.
Then he got 2 himself and a fumble.
Stripped the ball out on that one play.
Yeah, basically for the turnovers he had a hand in.
Yeah. And still had several tackles and just all over the field. So, and he seems like him and his brother both seem like good kids. You know, when you hear them interviewed, they do a good job interviewing. They seem to really just and you hear the coaches talking about them. They're hard workers. They, I forget who it was talking about coming to practice and seeing, or coming to the building and seeing them working on drills by themselves. Just him and his brother working on drills together. You know, things like that. I mean, that's stuff you like to hear about players. So he's easily becoming one of my favorite Razorbacks. So, just good on him. But let's root them on this Saturday. Let's bring what trophy is it down there? The
Southwest Classic.
Let's bring that trophy back home where it belongs for the last one. And so root on those Hogs, folks. And Clint, another one's in the books, buddy.
170 in the can.
Hawg Slop podcast. You know what it is.
Bye.
See you, folks.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard drive so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come.